up, y'all? Yes, in the house. Shout out to Left Field Radio.
Yes.
In less than 5 years, an astronaut will be stepping out on the moon to conduct man's first real exploration of our oldest satellite. It will have been a long voyage, carrying him far from his native land, planet Earth, into a strange and airless world. To survive, he must carry with him a bit of his familiar environment. Bioengineers are designing a spacesuit that will support astronauts on a round-trip lunar mission is our story today, our Prince Reporter.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. It's one
Newton's. I want to talk a little bit about Newton's first law of motion. And this is a translation from Newton's Principia from Latin into English. So the first law, I want to talk a little bit about Newton's first law of motion. And this is a translation from Newton's Principia from Latin into English. So the first law, everybody persists in a state of being at rest, or moving uniformly straight forward, except insofar as it is compelled to change its state by force in rest. So another way to rephrase what they're saying is that there's something, everybody persists, so everything will stay at rest or moving with a constant velocity unless it is compelled to change its state by force. I want to talk a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Newton's second law of motion. Second law of motion. And this one is maybe the most famous. They're all kind of famous. Actually, I won't pick favorites here. But this one gives us the famous formula: force is equal to mass times acceleration. And acceleration is a vector quantity, and force is a vector quantity. And what it tells us, because we're saying, okay, if you apply force, it might change that constant velocity. But how does it change that constant velocity? So Newton's for Newton's third law of motion. It's something, once again, you've probably heard and people talk about. But in this video, I want to make sure that we really understand what Newton is talking about when he says, this is a translation of the Latin version of it, to every action there is always, and just so you're clear, Newton was English, but he wrote it in Latin because at that point in time people wrote things in Latin because it was viewed as a more serious language. But anyway, to every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction, or the forces of two bodies on each other are always equal and are directed in opposite directions.
Rata. Rata.
Just a quick shout out to Ian and Henry for tuning in. Thank you all. Miss y'all. Hope y'all are having a good time. Yeah.
Rata. Rata.
Shout out to Rada.
Rata.
never stops in my opinion.
What up, chat? Thanks for rolling through. I appreciate every single one of y'all. What up, Cameron? I see you, Jazzy.
Oh yeah.
This bitch got me feeling good. This bitch got me feeling good.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes.
Oh yeah.
The art never stops in my opinion. It's one of those things like this is probably the best time to make art actually. It usually comes out like that, you know, out of the weirdest, darkest spaces. And I think there's going to be a ton of great art to be created throughout the course of this year in light of the recent events.
Check, 1, 2, check.
The art
up, Ian? What up, Monk? Yo, thank you for coming out, bruh. I appreciate you guys so fucking much.
I was a soft kid. I was sensitive. I'd cry easy and I would be scared to fist fight. And my mother used to tell me this thing. I don't even know if you remember, but you said this to me more than once. You said, son, sometimes you have to be a lion so you can be the lamb you really are. I talk this like a lion. I'm not afraid of any of you. When it comes word to word, I will gab with the best of them, just so I can chill and be me. And that's why I love my art form, because I understand every practitioner of it. Whether I agree with them or not, I know where they're coming from. They want to be heard. They got something to say. There's something they notice. They just want to be understood. I was a soft kid.
not be the same. We knew the world would not be the same.
But if I could just say this.
We knew the world would not be the same.
Jazzy, I didn't know your dad was Bruce Lee. What the fuck? Why didn't you tell me that? Fingers of Fury, Monk.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent.
I'm about to end it on a pretty somber note. I'm not even going front.
Line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad
But
Gita.
hey, much appreciated. Thank you, Left Field, for having me. Shout out to everybody
Trying to
that's
persuade
played.
the prince that
Thank you.
he should do his duty. And to impress him, takes on the armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
But if I could just say this, and this is because I gotta go. But if I could just say this, and this is because I gotta go. But I want to thank you guys. But also another thing I left out. But if I could just say this, and this is because I gotta go, but I want to thank you guys. But also another thing I left out. I've been thinking about, for the first time ever, I'm thinking about my own mortality. Death has been around us, around me. People have died left and right. And it really, made me think about, like, I'm not gonna be the fuck here forever. And I know it's a cliche, but you know what makes it cliche? That more times than not, it's the truth. Bullshit doesn't become a cliche. Truth does, in my opinion. And
that's facts.
We gotta enjoy what we got, because no one knows when that last breath we're gonna take. And nothing is reaffirmed that. I mean, you hear that, yeah, that's some bullshit, we'll live forever. But living through New York City in this epicenter, that changed. Like, I said, nah, that shit is real. we gotta enjoy this shit while you're here. Because this was a motherfucking epicenter. New York City, people dying left and right. Funeral homes have motherfucking U-Haul trucks. They're unrefrigerated. people have to call the cops because bodily fluid and the stench is like, this has been crazy.
That's the shit you don't see.
Like I live in Fort Greene, not right next to Brooklyn Hospital, and you see the refrigeration trucks they had. They're gone now. But we had to bring in refrigeration trucks to keep the dead bodies on ice.
Yeah.
And the last thing, my brother, I'm gonna sing you out because I want to let you know that I love you, and it's love, love, love. And I think that this is time in history that we're living through. It's gonna produce great albums, great plays, great movies, great documentary. But if I could just say this, and this is because I gotta go, but I want to thank you guys. But if I could just say this,
Told you I was ending on a somber note, but it's real. I just want to take a moment of silence for anybody in this world that's been affected through the shelter in place, whether it's, mental health or, the pandemic itself or any situation you're in. We live in crazy times. If you've been affected by police brutality or colorism, I just want to take a quick moment of silence just to give everybody an opportunity to sit and be in the moment. Thank you so much, Left Field Radio. I appreciate everybody in this room. Thank you for everybody tuning in, and much love.